Hi and welcome to day 45 of Counting the Omer, Tiferet within Malchut. Today I feel guided to talk about the truth of who we are. And I also want to talk about the three upper sephirots. The Keter, which is on the top of the tree of life. I haven't mentioned that because we are not really working with that in manifested, or how to say it, it's not included in the day-to-day energy shift, or we are not directly working with that channel between the Keter and the other sephirots, because Keter is always there. That's the Ein Sof aspect of God, the unknown aspect of God. Or you can also see it as the masculine polarity of God. And the Malchut, or the Shekinah, is the feminine aspect of God. And between there are you. You can also see this as the spine in the body. This is the spine. You have the Keter on the top and you have the Malchut on the bottom of the spine. So the crown, Keter, is on the crown of the head, the top of the head. And the Malchut is also down on your feet, under your feet. In the center you have Tiferet, which is the heart. When the crown is open, you can be a very open channel and receive a lot of messages coming into you. So the wisdom and the voices, the channeling can be very clear. You can receive a lot of information from the universe because your crown is open. So it goes down into your mind, but you can't really figure it out. You don't know what you're receiving. And then it travels downwards to your heart, but your heart doesn't know what to do with it. And if there's a block somewhere, so that information doesn't go through the whole tree of life and down to the end of your spine, down to the sole of your feet, you are not able to ground the information that you are receiving. You are not able to share it, and you are not able to make a sense of it. I think most of us have some sort of experience to be around a person who is very ungrounded. It's like all the energy is in the head area of that person. It's like you can almost sense that the mind is working overtime. It's just what happens when I'm around people like that, I feel this contraction around my lower belly and I get really tired. My body just whoo. And what happens is that I feel overwhelmed by all the information, all the words coming, because words holds a frequency. It holds information, and it is a creation. And if the words are not really grounded, it haven't been traveling down to the earth before it is expressed, it becomes empty in a way. Something is missing. And in the spiritual world, I see this a lot. Because people may have experiences of the crown opening up. Maybe you have that in a meditation, or you have that in some sort of plant medicine experience, but you have no idea what to make out of it. It's just there, information. What can I do with that? And people start to guide each other in many ways, and you want to, because you've seen something and now you want to bring that out and you want to bring it into the world, but you haven't really found your channel either. You don't really know how to express it or how to bring it into the right channel, into the earth. Maybe you put up a workshop, or you try to figure something, you try to share what you experienced, and you try to force it on people also, because you have this insight now, and you want to bring that out, and you try to put up workshops, and you try to do all these kinds of things, but no one is responding to it. And then you get desperate, and then you try to reach out even more, and how can I pull people into this? Most likely it's because you haven't really grounded the information yet. You haven't pulled it down into your roots, so you yourself is not stable. And I'm talking from experience here, because I saw this in myself also in the beginning, when I wanted to share what I've seen and what I've experienced of this awakening experience that I had when I saw God within myself. I was so eager to bring it out into the world, but what I experienced when I was teaching was that I felt insecure, which is okay. We have to start somewhere, but giving us the time sometimes to really just bring it down. And very often we have a lot of blockages within the body. There is so much trauma there, and there is so many blocks that keeps this flow of information to go through the system and down to earth. So yesterday I was working with a client, and I could feel that her energy, it stopped right underneath her heart. She's full of love. She has so much energy, but she's completely ungrounded. And this can go both ways. Then the life force that comes from the earth, that stream of life, that stream of creativity, that Shakti energy, it can't really rise upwards. And very often it's because the lower chakras, our foundation, is full of trauma. And we carry this, all of us, from our ancestors, from our own lives. It's in the human collective. It requires from us that that we are brave and willing to go into where it's dark, that black holes within. But to be able to do that, we need to feel safe. There must be some feelings that it is safe for you to go into those dark places within. Otherwise, you will just keep on avoiding it. Shut the door every time there's a little frequency of that fear which you are avoiding. So having an experience that it is safe to go into that, to open those doors, we need to have done that a couple of times before it feels completely safe to go fully into it every time it pops up. So it doesn't really matter how much information or how much you channel into, through the crown and what's coming to you and how much you know, because you will not fully be ready to bring it out into the world. Because you are blocking that life force yourself. You're blocking the channel to ground into earth, and you are blocking also your life force to rise up. And then it's really hard to get in alignment with your mission, with the truth of who you are. And it's really hard to have that experience of being in harmony, no matter what happens around you. And the Tiferet, the heart, that's the meeting point in a way, from the upper world and the lower world within the body. This heart can hold so much grief and so much pain. So we need to purify all the 3 power centers. The mind power center, which contains the crown, the third eye. And we need to clear and purify the heart center, which contains a part of the solar plexus and the throat. That's one power center. And then we need to purify the lower chakras, the third power center. If there is an unbalance in one of these power centers, it will manifest into the others as well. It will block your clarity if you have a trauma that makes you re-experience your trauma in relationships. You will not be able to see clearly what's happening in that other person or what's happening in you. It's blocking your sight. If you don't know who you are, if you never had this feeling of being completely in one with your authentic self and peace, it's probably because your lower chakras are blocked. So your heart gets out of balance. It's like this wall between your consciousness and the truth of who you are is closed. And if that is the case, how can you express the truth of who you are? How can you open your throat and be you, express you? So why am I sharing this? I want to give you the desire to go within, to look within, and to clear your lower chakras, so your higher chakras, your Tiferet, and the Keter, your crown, your third eye, can be completely purified and open, so that you also can bring the truth of who you are, the Tiferet, into the world. So you can be in the energy of complete harmony, complete peace, complete wholeness, both groundedness but also connected with the higher realms. So you can bring that version of you, which is the true version of you, which has nothing to do with personality, which has nothing to do with what you actually are doing, but it has to do with what you are shining into the world, what you are vibrating into the world, what kind of power you are bringing into the world. When you step into a room, what kind of frequency are you bringing with you into that room? Are you walking into that room with a lot of fear and trauma? You are probably hiding the truth of who you are. When your lower chakras have been purified and there is no longer fear there to shine, you will walk into the room, but you have no need to be anyone or to do anything or to show off. That's probably a block in your solar plexus. If you need to make yourself important and seen in that room, it's probably coming from the lower chakras, your solar plexus. There's an unmet need and there's a self-esteem issue that you need to look into. A person who is completely home in that truth of who they are, they walk into a room with no agenda. They are there because they know that God sent them there. And they just completely surrender to the unknown. Let's see what wants to come out of this situation. Why am I here? I have no clue, but I just know I'm supposed to be here. Let's see. I have no needs from anyone in this room of people. I don't need to be seen. I don't need to make myself seen or heard. I'm just there. And whatever wants to happen, whoever I attract, I know it's a reason for that. And I will do my best to serve that person. I wonder if you can pick up that frequency. Imagine yourself walking into a room and there's a circle of people. Let's say it's 15 people there. You're going to this workshop. It can be whatever workshop. But let's say it's a workshop about a medicine wheel. because I'm working with that right now. So it was easy for me to come up with it. So you walk into a workshop about medicine wheel. And there is absolutely no fear in you. There is no need. There is no agenda. You just had this calling. Something inside of you, your intuition told you to go there because there's something there for you to either learn or to teach or to, I don't know. There is always this unknown aspect when we are doing something, when we are walking into the world. We never know what will actually happen. So God has this potential for you, and you go into this room, 15 people are there, and you sit down in the circle. How do you feel? Are you in complete peace with yourself? Are you completely here and now? Or has your mind being involved, making expectations, making up ideas about what you are gaining from it, or why you are there? You don't know that. The mind doesn't know that. The soul maybe knows that, but God knows it, definitely. There's a plan for you being there. But you don't really know that. Your mind probably doesn't know it. So can you just let go of the mind? And you sit down in the circle and you see all these people. You see them in their fears, their insecurities, their expectations, their excitement. There's all these kinds of insecurities and emotions playing out. When I do this with a group, there's always so much emotions, vibrating that first hour when we come together. What kind of emotions are within you? What's alive in you when you walk into a room like that? And you sit down, and if you're completely in your truth, the Tiferet, the soul, if you are in the higher self, there's absolutely no fear or anxiety, or the mind is not involved at all. You just sit down there and you're completely in harmony, completely peaceful. And there's no reactions to the other people's emotions. You're just there. See them. You feel the vibration, like the waves of energy. But it's like watching an ocean with different kinds of waves and ripples, and some of them are pleasant to your eyes and some of them are maybe a little bit disturbing. Wow, that's a big wave, Will it take me? But you're completely aware and you're observing it, and you're in this state of peace and harmony and love and compassion. There's just this compassion for everyone and what they are going through, what they are experiencing. And you sit there and you feel supported by the earth. You ground in that feeling of harmony and peace and love. And there's even this sparkle of joy, and you're excited to be there. Oh, this is fun. There are people here. And suddenly, that energy of peace and harmony starts to vibrate into the room. And suddenly you see that people are shifting around you. Suddenly they calm down. It's like your wave of peace and harmony is meeting their waves of anxiety and fear and this excitement and all their expectations. It's just meeting their waves and mixing, and then calms it all down. So you suddenly see this flash of peace in their eyes, and everything just calms down. There are suddenly 15 people in a circle, sitting in peace with each other, smiling. It's like you can see this shift in people's eyes even. Moving from this anxiety and this uncertainty into just this feeling, or this, you can see, when people's eyes are shifting from anxiety into peace, into feeling safe. And their faces softens, the area around the eyes are softening. And now I see that the third eye is opening, and people can basically see how it opens. And there is suddenly this, you can see also how the breath is changing in their bodies. The tension releases from their body, and they start to lay down even, and lean back, and people are just moving from tension into release and relaxation. And it's just because of you. Because you came into that room in your truth, in the Tiferet. You haven't said a word. You haven't done anything. You are just home. And because you are home, because you are stepping into a room fully authentic, fully in one with the truth of who you are, everyone else picks up that frequency. And you're so powerful in your energy of harmony and peace that everyone picks it up, recognizes it without even being aware of it, and shifts out of tension into release. That's how powerful we are. When we do this work, when we go through this process of purifying ourselves, it doesn't matter if it's you who are the teacher or the one who leads the whole workshop, or you are there to participate in the group, because we are one. It's an exchange of energy, frequency, love, harmony. It's so easy to think that we need to do a lot of stuff, that we need to create a lot of things in order to do our work in this world. That's the greatest job you can do. If you do that, you will change the world without doing any exact action. The only action you have done is to listen to that inner voice, go to that workshop, because someone needs your energy there. An invitation to take that in. Inhale it like a truth into yourself. Receive that truth from me, coming from me, not my personality, but this comes from God. Because God wants us to be happy, to feel free, to feel joy. And some of us are here to be light workers, to show the way for other people. But it doesn't always look like what our mind think that it has to look like. Maybe you are here just to be you, that you don't need to do anything except that. And then it becomes all about you, doesn't it? That you do that purification. That you remove the blocks that keeps you from tapping into the truth of who you are. If you want to change the world, go within. And the people around you will start to change as well. They will also grow just because you have done the work with yourself. Because the mismatch of vibrations, when you come in this harmonious state, this peaceful state, just because of that, their shadows will pop up. They will feel triggered by you also. It's not only that they will go into this blissful state, because everything which is not in vibration with your state will be visible to them, and they will project it onto you. In the beginning, they will point the finger, it's about you. No, it's not. And you know this when you are in the truth of who you are and someone projects on something towards you. You will know it. This is not about me. This is about them. But you will also know it if there is some truth in what they are telling you. Maybe it is about you because you haven't fully seen the truth about what's laying down there in the root chakras, and you do the root chakra and the sacral chakra blocking. Because we have so many layers of those traumas. So it's not about seeing yourself as bigger, but always trying to see the truth in a situation. It requires quite a strong will, actually, to do this work. And if you have listened to me for all these days now and done this process, this counting the Omer, it's because you want to be liberated. There's a will inside of you to become free, to come home to the truth of who you are. And that's so beautiful. That's just so beautiful. It's not always easy. But it becomes easier and easier and easier as we peel off all those layers. Yeah. I put my hand on my heart right now, and I'm touching in with the Tiferet within myself, allowing the soul to meet my hand, just to feel it. And I'm sending that vibration of truth, of love, unconditional love, freedom, joy, peace, harmony, inner beauty. I send all of that to you. May it find your way and remind you about the truth of who you are, so you can bring that into this world, ground it in, bring it in, into form. Amen.